studied with the University of South Africa. My undergrad was in social work and my postgrad was in criminology. And altogether, I am a registered social worker. I graduated in 2018. And now I'm currently employed with the Daveyton Association for the Physically Disabled. I'm the only resident social worker. I don't have any auxiliary workers, so that means that the entire department is solely dependent on me. And what the center does is accommodates people living with disability after they are done with school. So there are schools that accommodate them even if it's not mainstream school until they're 18. But after that they obviously can't go to varsity because most of our beneficiaries have intellectual disability, so they don't cope, you know, academically. So the center now comes in to substitute that, and then on a daily basis the beneficiaries come and there's a program for the day. So how it runs is that they come in and then there's breakfast is served at the center, and then there are different activities that they partake in. So there's anything between gardening, catering, recycling, dancing, drama, beadwork, sewing, you know, car wash, and then once that is done, there's lunch, and then the program continues. So all of them have different strengths. So just because one person does one thing doesn't mean that they're going to be able to do the next. You know, it depends on their capabilities and it depends on their strength. So my role in all of that is to offer psychosocial support. Psychosocial support includes finding a solution to every problem that they come across. So if they've got issues with their interpersonal relationships, they've got issues, health issues, they've got issues amongst themselves here with the other beneficiaries, issues with the staff, that's where I come in as a mediator. They've got issues at home, they're being mistreated, that's where I come in. So one of the most leading issues is that their grant money is hardly used the way it's supposed to be used. So there'll be a caretaker, or there'll be a parent, or there'll be a caregiver or whatever at home who always feels entitled to that money. So those are one of the fires that we're constantly trying to put out to make sure that the money is being used the way it's supposed to be used, you know. There's issues of neglect, you know. Sometimes also I think it's not even neglect and it comes from a bad place from the parents, ne? Sometimes it's just a matter of they never imagined that they'd be parents to people that are living with disability. So how they had pictured it is that, okay, I'm pregnant, there's going to be an addition to the family, I'm going to be a mother, and that's where it ends, and it's a fairy tale. And then now they are faced with this reality that, okay, my child has special needs, they are most likely never going to participate in mainstream economy, they are most likely not going to be able to have their own families, you know. And they battle and they struggle with those feelings. But because I think maybe we're in a society maybe that has very minimalistic education surrounding disability, they're never able to have those conversations. There are no safe spaces for them to share those feelings or say those things, you know, that actually I'm really struggling, I'm really sad that I'm a parent to somebody living with disability, because what this means is that this person is going to be dependent on me for the rest of their lives, and I was not prepared for that. My calculation was that at 18 they're gonna go to varsity, and before I know it they're out of my house. But with people that are living with disability, that is highly unlikely, you know. So I think maybe the issues are born from that, like the lack of education and lack of awareness, and that's where we come in, because one of the indicators that we do have from the Department of Social Development is that we constantly need to create awareness in communities regarding disability and everything that goes into it. So that even includes the feelings that the parents or the families of people living with disability have, you know. So we promote their rights, you know. One of the biggest issues also, or the ways that their rights are infringed, is their rights to procreation and recreation. So more often than not, in families where there's somebody living with intellectual or physical disability, umuntu uzophiwa without their consent, umuntu uzosterilize without their consent, umuntu uzoperformiswa i-abortion without their consent. So that's one of the things that we're always striving to make abantu who are living with people that have disability to know that no, just because somebody can't do one thing doesn't mean they can't do everything. You know, it doesn't mean that they don't have the right to make these decisions. It doesn't mean that they don't have the right to say, no, I want a child, you know. So some of the things that Mamela was saying, I'm at the clinic at least twice a week, every week, you know, to try to advocate for things like that. So if there's like a beneficiary that says, I want to have a child, you know, comes back 2 months later and says, I'm actually pregnant. Because I know how the system works, you know, the backlash that they're going to be met with at clinic, the backlash they're going to be met with at home, you know, that's where I come in the sense that I'll be like, okay, we'll call the family or the families if both the mother and the father of the beneficiaries are here at home, and we'll talk to them and let them know this, okay, the couple is pregnant, they're going to have a child, and this is what it means, you understand? Your support would be highly appreciated, just like when everybody has a child, you know. And this is a decision that they have made, and it ends here, you know, so as to protect them. So when they go home, they know that their eyes, you know, like there's somebody that is aware of this pregnancy, and we can't do as we please, you know, because they are protected. Clinic, so when I'm there, things like that don't happen because they know what is right, you know. So there's no room for advantage to be taken, you know. So yeah, basically every single day I wake up and I go to work and I fight for the rights of people living with disability at the same time. In a nutshell, sometimes the fights are big, sometimes the fights are small.
Yeah.